Old Strathcona and Garneau. I spent the better part of my university days hanging out in these areas. I remember fondly going for walks along Saskatchewan Drive, gaining an appreciation for arts and film at one of the local theaters or during Fringe Festival, or finding somewhere to eat after classes or exams. Or maybe it was playing the part of bubble tea girl. All these moments helped to inform who I was and who I was becoming as an adult. Let me share a few spots that I think have perfectly encapsulated what it has meant to me. We didn't have the scramble at this intersection up until the last few years, but I remember this walk very fondly. Crossing Wade Avenue and walking down Calgary Trail to get to Dream Tea House. I worked there for pretty much the entirety of my undergrad. Having spent most of my time in Sherwood Park, Dream Tea House was really the first space and community where I could share in my Chinese culture and heritage, and I found and formed long-lasting friendships with people I met there, including my friend Steph, with whom I've had the privilege of growing into adulthood.
Thanks for being in this interview.
Thank you for having me.
20 years
Yes.
since we first met here.
Yeah,
2004.
I started a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But
You started, I'm pretty sure you started the year before me.
yeah, the first year. I was here for the first anniversary.
Yes.
That's how I keep track.
But we met when I was doing my uni registration, and I came in with my mom.
Yes. What your buzz cut.
Yes. And what is your all-time favorite Dream Tea House drink?
It still is. It's green apple green tea.
Okay.
It still is my drink. And yeah.
Yeah,
You can't get it anywhere else.
You can't. I
Yeah.
know. It's not the same,
And it's
right?
not like you can have any other green tea drinks, but it's not the same. It
Yep.
doesn't, yeah, so.
Okay. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Still the same. At that time, there weren't a lot of places that are more representing of Asian culture and drinks. And you come in here, most people are probably Asian. And so it kind of feels like this is like the hub. This is the place to be. And I felt kind of proud to be working here.
Yeah.
Right? To be like, the place that we all love going to hang out, to feel, and you feel like this place, you can identify with this place, and it validates who you are, and it's a cool place to be.
Yeah. Be honest.
I just love the connection. Right?
Yeah.
You're able to really get to know the community, the people from university, the people who are just starting at work coming in, and people that come in are friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and many of them turn into friends. Yeah.
I mean, in terms of that, you're an educator now. You have been for a while, not to age you or myself, but it has been 20 years.
I've only been teaching for 15, 16, because I was going through university at the time. Yes,
but
I've been in the field.
I mean,
for
15, 16 years is no small feat. And, you know, you work with elementary age children, and you have kids of your own. Like, what, for you, does a place like this mean?
Growing up being an immigrant, coming from Hong Kong, it was always like I was neither nor. I wasn't quite Canadian enough, if there's a thing, and I wasn't quite Hong Kong enough. And so this place really made me feel, oh yeah, I'm Asian, I'm Hong Kong, I'm like, you know, all these Chinese culture and all the things. I could speak the language. It really solidified and reaffirmed that side of me.
Yeah.
That nowhere else could provide.
Yeah.
And so that's really nice. And then as I teach and as I have my own children, it really felt like I could put that together, and I am both. Right? So places like this, and I hope that there are more places like this, because along with places like this and what we provide for my children, I hope that they have a bank of resources so that they can choose the parts that they want to have in creating their own identity, right? Because society, the dominant culture is going to give them that part, those pieces of the identity puzzle. And places like this, our family, are going to give them the other parts that they can put together and make their own.
And I love that you bring your boys in.
Yes.
Because it's like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to use my fingers.
No, I know. I was like, screw it. Why am I even using a fork?
Maybe for the chicken. But there's like, watching your boys come into their own flavors and tastes, but also you can tell there's influences from both you
Yes.
and Richard, like your
Yes.
husband. And I'm just like, yeah, that's 100% Steph. That's
Yes,
100%
that's a meat drink,
Richard.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's super adorable.
And honestly, bringing them to this place is like, it's like me bringing them to like a school that I went to, almost. Like, it's like, oh, come show, let me show you this place. And now, like you said, they're making it to be their own. They have their favorite drink when they come here now, right? So.
Anyways, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I really appreciate you sharing, you know, like our history and our past and all those good memories, and also who you've become. Like, I'm so grateful to have your friendship, and I'm so grateful we have this time to do this. So,
No,
thank
this
you.
is really special. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay.
Little Wolf is a fairly new addition to the community, and like its predecessors, it is here to provide a welcoming and unique space to enjoy food, drink, and the inevitable heart-to-heart among friends. Sean is one of the owners and the chef of Little Wolf, and he brings a deep passion for food and people.
My name is Sean Hicks, and I am the owner, one of the owners of Little Wolf. It's where Three Boars used to be for, I think, 15 years or however long it was. It's a small plates restaurant in Garneau, kind of like fun bar snacks, food, and cocktails.
What inspired Little Wolf?
So I think what inspired me to make Little Wolf is the fact that the great memories I had with Three Boars and the restaurant that was here prior. I really enjoyed its inclusivity. I enjoyed like its ability to kind of be a really fun industry space for other people to come to. And it was always changing and evolving, just small plates and cocktails, different beers, etc. So there was always something new that was happening here that was really just exciting to be a part of. The dishes here, it's hard to say what inspired any particular one, because for me it's the ever-changing nature of it that is exciting to me. Gone are the days in the terms of what food costs and labor costs is now that you can, you know, if you order for one of those big companies that deliver, you have to basically be charging an arm and a leg for everything that you make. And for me, you also have to have order larger portions of things. So for me, that was kind of prohibitive in the fact that this is a small space. I think, you know, 35 seats inside, 46 with the patio, but it didn't give me the flexibility that I wanted to continue to change things. It was easier for me to go to the spaces that I inherently shop at anyway for myself, which is like Little India, in Chinatown, or Lucky 97, or any of those grocery stores. And for me to be able to go to that kind of space and buy produce or grains or pulses and stuff like that kind of gives me the ability to not only save money there so that I can keep the prices down for the people that I want coming here, but it also allows me to continue to rotate and change as those sales and what's coming in changes with seasons and import, etc. So for me, it's the excitement of being able to bring ingredients that people normally would not use here.
Have there been any ingredients that have caught people off guard, but shockingly like, oh my God, this is amazing, what is it? And just the unfamiliarity that you can introduce to people?
I would say like in one of the dishes now we have a roasted carrot dish with kind of like a tahini cream underneath it, and then an Israeli couscous, but in the Israeli couscous we put almost like an ajar, which is like an Indian pickle, and it's a pickled wild hill lemon, and it's spicy, it's got mustard seed, it's got curry leaf and stuff like that in it, and we chop that up with some apricots, which normally the two wouldn't go together in an Israeli couscous. A chocolate dessert that I'm putting out tonight that I did a couple of last night for some industry people contains something which is like a coconut molasses, and normally they use those in some Asian like fish dishes and stuff like that, like it becomes part of a sauce, but it's got this like beautiful bitter quality that I just wanted to take chocolate and like amp it up. It's a chocolate cremeux, which is kind of in between a chocolate pudding and a chocolate mousse. You make a creme anglaise, and then you fold like a high dark chocolate into that and let it set, and it comes kind of a firmer style. And then on top of it is just a toasted pumpkin seeds, a little bit of Maldon salt, and those pumpkin seeds are tossed in the coconut molasses.
Oh, that you were mentioning
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
That dark chocolate is really good.
Yeah, see what I mean?
And the sour cherry has a really nice like finish to it.
So it's just enough to kind of cleanse your palate
Yeah.
by the end of it. There's enough acidity. Like whenever I'm making a dish and it's going to be small in that izakaya kind of style, what I like to end up doing is try to make something that resets itself every bite.
You've talked a lot about, you know, having a place for industry people because notoriously you work long hours, but you also work late hours. So for non-industry people, is there something that people just aren't aware of that you want kind of to cultivate for people who are maybe unfamiliar with the area, unfamiliar with Little Wolf, that you want to utilize to invite them in?
You know, for any type of hospitality industry, you're in this like waypoint of a public utility and like a private enterprise. The only thing I want people to know, all of them across the board in a blanket statement, is that they're welcome here to come and have a good time with us. It's always mattered to me like how much I have to spend on going out, and I really always want it to be something that's like, you know, a great experience across the board, no matter how humble it is in terms of what I'm eating. Like the cheapest diner to the best restaurant, to me, the invitation in being in a space like that, I want to be able to provide a very welcoming space for people to come in.
Like, is there anything about this particular area that really stood out for you?
So I wouldn't have opened Little Wolf anywhere else, to be
Okay.
clear. This would not happen in any other space besides this precious gem. The ability for it to be close to, you know, an independent movie theater and all those other things, it just means that it's such an eclectic group coming in constantly that it just keeps us all on our toes. But for people that feel like there's something missing in that kind of dining experience, that's where I want to be. I want to be there for them to be, you know, like, oh, I'll take care of you. Like, that's what I'm missing. So that camaraderie and that kind of experience for me is what I would like to translate.
We just talked about how eclectic it is, but do you feel like there's anything missing at this point, or something that particularly stands out to you?
For me, all I can do is take care of the things that I would like to see. It's starting to happen. There's a couple places that I've seen on like social media that are opening a little bit later and stuff like that.
Okay.
And to me, that's like a resurgence of that like nightlife. And it's not just hospitality industry that are leaving work late. There's a whole slew of people. It's just easier for me to get in the mindset of the people that are in our industry to network with them, to let them know that we exist and we're here late at night.
Right. I've seen a lot of like really fun posts about like not just the food, but the energy, a lot of nostalgia actually. A lot of the people I follow, they're like, oh man, it's so great to be back in this space. And I think that's fantastic with like everything you've done in such a short time. So
yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it. The reason it's called Little Wolf is because of the three boars, the three pigs, and that kind of like keeping in that same, you know, shoulders of giants. I can't do everything. No one can.
Right.
But I can. There was an energy to the space and the hospitality to it that resounded in me when it was that space, and so I'm just hoping to carry that torch, basically.
Time waits for no one, and that is an especially salient feature of these neighborhoods. I think if you talk to anyone who has spent time in the area, you'll get a slightly different version of what this part of the city is or has been. While the sometimes rushing change of these neighborhoods can be bittersweet, it is still part of the charm. It is the acceptance of not trying to be the same or stay the same, just being yourself and letting people discover you, your splendor, or your dreams, and building community from it or creating affectionate memories of it. That is Old Strathcona and Garneau.